We've just laid out the train track setup I wanted to do. I ended up doing two train stations, two lots of fluid platforms. Uh, Oil will be our primary goal, and I think we'll end up bringing water here as well. Water will explain later and the reason why I'm bringing it, but right now we need to bring oil here. So we have our train line is going to come in here, and we have a loop that happens. So the train comes in here, and what's going to happen is I need to come down to show you the the front of the train station. There's two separate train stations. The front of the train station is round, and then each platform connects onto the back. So the direction is it has to come in this way and stop here. And then every carriage along will get loaded and unloaded at the same time. So as I was explaining before, we've got the train line that comes in where I had a gap here. I had my corner, I had my normal distance, that section that I have. And then back here, we'll follow this around. Corner comes to here, then we have that distance again. Then I have my two freight platforms and the station. Then I have that gap I have again. Then my corner. Then that gap. And then this does all the same stuff. And the train line comes around to here. And you can see that we have, there's my gap. And then this connects to the intersection where these two join. And then this comes around, corner again. This goes all the way up because there's nothing connecting there. I have my gap again, and it's the same this way. This one, the normal gap, this connects to there, and then another gap. And then from here, this will just be my train line off to where I want it to go. We will use the landscape to our liking. We'll see where we go. But generally that's it. The train stations should be named. All you have to do is go over to a train station and you can just press E to configure it. And this one I'm going to call O crude oil. And that's just my personal understanding. This train station will output crude oil, and each freight platform you have to configure them to be, this is an unload station. And here as well, this is an unload station. So we need to do the same over here. These platforms have just been rotated, but the whole train line runs the same way. And I'll give this one a name as well, and this will be output water. And as you can imagine, for me at the other end, it will be input water. The last thing to take into consideration is, and because they're so close together, you can't see it, but there is a power connector. It's normally there, yeah, but you can see it on this one. And there's the power, and that would go to your power network. And what that means is that powers the station, but it powers all the stations, and power runs along the train line. So now when we go to that oil location, you can understand why I didn't run a power line all the way there, because when we get to the other end, I will just connect off there to a power pole, and then I'll have power for my whole network at that location. And it all travels across the train line, so it means it makes it so much easier. And you can use that between all your locations. It's really good. It does mean you are locking the grids together, the power grids together, but that's okay. The only other thing I've got here is, you might say, well, hold on, how do you get this liquid past the train line? Because you've got to go out. So I've made this too deep, and what you can do is take the floor away and underneath you can put a normal 1 meter foundation underneath, so you can run underneath your train station through to where you need to go, the fluids, their output. And so that's really helpful. You'll have some safety barriers there, of course, and all that sort of jazz. But yeah, that'll go to where you need it to go. But that is the train station setup that we're going to use for this area here. And obviously, the really obvious thing is I've got no room for growth or expansion here. This will be the fixed size of what they are. I might be able to go forward at the other end, but some of this planning you have to think, well, that's as much as I'm going to do. If I need more, then we'll have to expand in another way, think about it, move it, change it, whatever you want to do. But then you're obviously going to have to take into account how you're going to plan that out. But yeah, that's how I've organised the train stations here.